Now in their second season, Leadership of the Leaf with more cigar knowledge and more leadership insights. Two great leaders smoking great cigars. Here's our host, Austin and Dice. Grab a drink and jump in with a cut and a light.
Hey, welcome everyone to season 2 of Leadership of the Leaf. My name is Dice.
I'm Austin.
All right, and as you can hear, we had a new intro. We
did. Yeah, it was great. Wonderful.
All right. Well, this is going to be a recap episode to let everyone know who we are, what we're doing. Leadership, what's that about?
Who knows?
And we're going to share some insight about the show. Maybe, some things people may want to know or didn't know. Who knows?
I'm interested to know about some of these things because I don't even know some of these insights.
Well, one thing I know people are kind of waiting on is what was our pick for Cigar of the Year?
Ooh. All right. Well, fair enough. Let's get to that. But first, I got to know, what are you smoking today?
Well, it is a celebratory episode, season 2, first one. So I'm smoking a Perdomo. We're not there yet, but Perdomo 10th anniversary. The champagne.
Ooh, that's a good cigar.
Wait, I am pairing it with champagne, with Hennessy in it.
With Hennessy in it, of course it's called Hennessy.
It's called a French 75.
You fucking French. Not to offend any of our French listeners, if there are any.
Oh, wow.
Well, who knows? Who knows what we got?
I know.
Just saying. I don't, because I don't get into that nerdy stuff.
How about you, sir? What are you puffing on?
I decided to go, because I want to bust down the new year. I decided to go with a Punch Knuckle Buster Habano.
Punch. Classic.
Yeah, I thought I'd go a little classy on my first day of the new year.
All right,
and I am pairing that with a new Scotch that I got. Ooh, it's called Aberfeldy, 12-year. It's delicious.
Say that again.
Aberfeldy. ABERFELDY DEY.
All right.
Like that. Aberfeldy.
I'll look for it. Is it peaty? Is it smooth?
It's smooth with a hint of peat.
Peat. Okay.
It's not like a super sweet one. I had one over the holidays, as is my custom. I like to drink and smoke. Anyways, I had some Scotch, and it was as I was drinking, I thought it was really good, but I got to like 2 glasses in, I started getting this really bad headache, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I drink Scotch all the time. And then as I was drinking that last half that second glass, I realized it was so sweet. It was giving me like a sugar headache.
Okay.
And I was like, this is like way too sweet on my palate. So I had to change it up a little bit, switch it up.
So that sounds like it'd be a good one if you had like an Oscuro or something that's super full body.
Yeah, full body, maybe with like a hint of spice, or something else like hay, or I don't know, something that would complement that sweetness. It was super sweet. I had to stop and change up what I was drinking after that.
All right. So I'm gonna share a story before we get started.
Oh, I love stories. Story time.
So I went to a tobacco shop.
Oh.
A brick and mortar. They have a lounge in the back.
Oh, I think I know this store.
Yeah. So I got a cigar. I'm not gonna say which cigar it was, but I got maybe 1/3 in. Not that far. About 1/3. Anybody that smokes cigars know about how far that is. Was cracking, splitting, flaying. I don't know. It was horrible. Everything about it was horrible. So I go back to the front and I said, hey, Mr. Tobacco Guy, my cigar, take a look at it. It's like dry, bitter. There's something up with your humidor, or there's something up with this batch of cigars. Whatever. I don't know. and the guy did not stop moving. He was messing with a mop bucket, and he didn't even look up at me. He was just like, "Sorry, sir, you smoked too much of the cigar already." And I looked at my cigar, then I looked at him, looked back at the cigar, and I was like, "Are you serious?" He was like, "Sorry." Oh, okay. Well, I'm just letting you know something's up with this batch of cigars. You might want to do something different, buddy. I wasn't trying to get a free cigar from you. I'm just letting you know something's awry. And yeah. So now because of that, I don't know if I'll go back to that brick and mortar.
I honestly, I would not. I would not. Customer service is such a big thing. One, to not even stop messing with what you're like doing to give the customer full attention is impolite and rude. It's bad customer service. Two, if a customer brings up a complaint and saying, "Hey, your cigars are dry and bitter," as a cigar store, I think it would be a point of pride for me if I was running it to sit there and be like, what dry, bitter, not in my store. There must be something wrong with what you're doing, and then talk to you about it and figure it out, and then be like, well, you didn't get that far into it because let me go get you a fresh one and I'll measure it. Yeah, you didn't get that far into it. Would you like the same cigar, or would you like to try a different one? I don't know. What's your preference? And then just give him a free cigar. A free cigar is better than a lost customer.
Yeah, what really bothered me about it was he didn't dig any deeper. He didn't ask any questions. He didn't wanted to get to the root cause analysis of the whole problem. He just looked at me like I was just trying to get a free cigar from him. And by all means, leadership of the Leaf isn't about that. We know how to smoke cigars properly. We've been doing it for over a year now, sharing our insight. So, yeah.
Just to clarify, we've been smoking cigars a lot longer than a year. We've just been doing the podcast for a year.
There you go.
Jesus.
I'm new. Would I like to write in?
Yeah. New year, new you, huh? Somebody got a little bit tipsy on that champagne.
It's all good.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with you. But my question is how much did that employee know about the cigar? How much do they even know about cigars in general?
Well, he walked in when I went in the walk-in humidor, he did not come in with me. He stood at the door, and he was actually facing away from me. He wasn't even engaging. Normally when I walk in the humidor, they're like, "Hey, how's it going? What do you like? Full body, medium?" He didn't do anything. He just kind of stood in the corner like he was in the movie Blair Witch.
What the fuck?
I'm serious.
Oh no, I mean, I believe you. I'm just saying, so they put a schmuck there and who can only ring up cigars but can't actually tell you anything about them.
He couldn't even ring up cigars, homie. Man, cigar I got.
What?
Yeah, the cigar I got, the price tag wasn't on it, so he had to run back in the humidor to grab one with a price tag on it. When the one he grabbed, I think I had a Gordo, but he brought back a Toro. He was like, "Oh, this isn't even the same size." So he had to run back in the humidor to get a second one.
What?
Yeah. The guys in the back, the guys in the back. The guys in the back was like, "This guy he's just weird. He's just a weirdo guy." So yeah, he's just there for a paycheck.
Why do they hire? You know what? Never mind. People do dumb things. All right. Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, we'll move forward.
We'll move forward. Yeah. I mean, I would move forward without that brick and mortar and not give them my business anymore.
No, sadly, it was one of the ones I was introduced to when I first moved to Vegas. And sadly, it is now going to be off the list.
Unfortunate. But as these things do go, some fall, some rise.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
All right. So we got story time out of the way. Now let's talk about why we're really here. It's a new year.
New year.
Which means that we have to pick last year's cigar of the year.
That is true. Now, going into it, we really only had one rule saying that we both have to have smoke that cigar on air, not necessarily together, but we both had to at least smoke it one time on air. That was our only rule.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. I would like to add a rule for this year coming.
I think I would agree with you on this one.
It cannot be a limited edition, limited release cigar.
What? You mean those ultra rare cigars that you may be able to buy that I can't be a cigar of the year contender?
Correct.
How dare you? That's fine. I'm good with that. I'm 100% on board with that because it just doesn't make sense because you live in Vegas, which is a big market in the cigar community, and you can easily get a lot more broader range of cigars than I can. So I think that's absolutely fair.
Sounds good. All right, that's for this season. That's for season 2.
Yeah.
But as of right now, in season 1, we only have one rule.
Yes. Must be smoked on the podcast by both of us at one point or another.
Correct.
Doesn't have to be at the same time, because if that was the case, I think there's only like 2 that we had. That would be a really short list, and that would suck.
All right. I guess I stalled long enough. Are we ready?
Do I need to do a drum roll or anything?
Nah, I think we'll spare the drum roll.
Spare the drum. All right, spare the drum roll. All right, you're fucking funeral there, bud.
So the size is a 6x54.
Ooh, Toro.
All right, and it's Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust Sin Compromiso.
Ooh, one of my favorites. So chocolatey and smooth.
It turned to be one of my favorites, thanks to you, buddy.
You are most welcome.
Because it was not on my radar until you brought it up.
Yeah, you're welcome. See, introduce you to good cigars. See, people, the cigars we smoke aren't just for shits and giggles. Go smoke them. They're good cigars. If we tell you it's a good cigar, it's a good cigar.
Correct. Correctamundo, as my kid would say.
Yeah.
All right. So we got our version of Cigar of the Year out the way. Mm-hmm. And we have a sidebar coming to talk about Cigar of the Year. So I'm going to leave that Cigar of the Year right there. Yeah. You want to talk about some facts?
Yeah, facts. So we got Cigar of the year out of the way. Yeah. So facts of the show. All right. So here's what I want to know. I got a list of things that I want to know because, like I said, I didn't get that nerdy and deep with all of our stuff like you did. So I would like to know these things.
All right.
But which episode was the most popular?
Most popular episode, which I had to scour. I had to look. Apple, Spotify, Anchor, across all of them. Our most popular episode was episode 11. It talked about cigar jargon and train your replacement.
Ooh, that was a good episode. I like that episode.
I did like that episode. And I had a guy at work mention something about the episode of training your replacement. And he didn't directly say, hey, man, I listened to your podcast and I kind of like that episode. Just some things he was saying that matched the episode too perfectly for him not to have listened.
Hey, I'm about it.
It's funny. Like, I know what you was listening to.
Yeah, right. All right, so you said you had to scour amongst a bunch of different apps and devices. So what are we on?
We are currently on, of course, Spotify, Anchor FM. Yep. Thank you, Anchor FM.
Thank you.
Apple, of course.
Yes.
We actually, there's a Google platform that we're on, the Google Podcast.
Ooh.
We're on Amazon Podcast. And I want to say we're also on Stitcher.
Interesting. Okay. I'm down with that.
I want to say there's a few others that kind of, I want to say leech or latch on to, I guess, Spotify or Amazon or something, because when I was doing my research, other ones came up. I didn't recognize the name.
Okay. So it must be something that we upload to like Anchor, and they upload it to a bunch of different. Thank you, Anchor. Interesting. All right. I'm down with that. All right. So you said, which was the most popular, but what was our longest episode? Because I know you, and you love to talk and talk and talk, and I know me, and I love to talk and talk. And as my wife says, I talk in circles. Apparently, I got yelled at about that for today. That was super fun.
I got a 3-circle limit.
She snapped at me because I was saying something about the cars and everything else, and she just kind of yelled at me. She's like, "Yeah, you're fucking going in circles." I was like, "All right, well, make sure we all understand it." So I was going in a different circle. I was going in a left-handed circle and then a right-handed circle, and I was trying to do a figure 8, but apparently you don't like 2 small circles. So all right, whatever.
All right, let's see. Our longest episode was episode 22. And once I reveal what the subject matter is, you'll be like, I understand why that was the longest.
Yes.
You probably remember is management versus leadership.
Ooh, that was a long one.
Yeah. So we did the when to stop smoking cigars, like, when it's time to say, all right, this cigar I'm done with. And then when we got to management versus leadership, it was game over.
That was a good episode, though. Management versus leadership?
Yeah, that's how.
Come on, that's a great topic. I don't know how we're going to beat that one. How is that not our best episode? Or most popular?
This is why I think it's not, because I thought it would be too. I think it's not because it's episode 22, which means that we only have 24 episodes in a season.
All right, fair enough. So it hadn't been out that long.
Correct.
So I hadn't had time to be our most popular.
Correct. So by the end of season 2, it may be our most popular episode.
All right. If that's the case, we'll see. We'll see at the end. At next year. Well, at the end of season 3, end of season 2, beginning of season 3. Yeah.
You got there.
Yeah. I'm gonna get there in a small circle, a right-handed circle, a left-handed.
Go about them desks. I'm gonna call your wife over here.
Yeah. She'll slap me.
Yeah.
You go in circles again. No, thanks.
I'm trying to fix you, boy.
I'm gonna get to where I'm fucking going. I'm gonna take a couple extra larger circles, but just leave me be. Okay.
Right.
Okay. What else? What other?
Through my data
facts.
search. My data search. Now I have figured out which was the most popular cigar segment, which was the most popular leadership segment. Okay. Because that was our most popular episode, so I can actually see kind of segments like where people stop listening or start listening, fast forward, whatever, right? So for season 1, our cigar topic, which I think is probably a lot of cigar topics most listened to, is cigar health and benefits.
Ooh. Oh, that one talked about how the FDA says that there's no real cancer-causing products in the cigars.
Yeah.
I like that episode. I like to throw that back in people's face.
Like, yeah.
All right. So that's the cigar topic. What about the leadership topic?
The leadership topic, most popular topic for leadership was accountability.
Ooh, that's my favorite word.
Yeah.
Is accountability.
Well, I talked about accountability a lot this week at work, so
that's anytime I get a new boss and they ask me and they say, hey, what do you think that we could do better in this place? My number one answer is always accountability.
Yeah.
People get away with shit that they shouldn't be able to get away with, and nobody holds them accountable. And so it makes the harder workers be less and the lazy workers be even worse, because who gives a fuck? Nobody's being held accountable anymore.
One thing I stressed was accountability across the board. Just because you're my superstar doesn't mean I shouldn't hold you to the same standards as fuck off, boy.
Hey, listen, I've been there. I've been there. I was your superstar when I first started. And you know I was. But when I fucked up, you did not hesitate to rip me a new one.
Like, you got to get to business.
Hey, it happens. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. It happened to me. Happened to you.
Happened to me. Happened to you.
It
happens to everybody. It will.
Are you, sir, in your first third?
I am. Let me Let me get a nice deep puff here.
Yeah, yeah. Put some smoke in the air.
All right, so it's black pepper with a hint of cedar and hay at the back end.
Oh, not too much cedar.
Not too much cedar. Okay. I get a I don't want to say it's a pepper bomb because it's really not, but it's like you know when you put like way too much like black pepper on your like green beans or your corn, and so you don't really taste the corn or the green beans so much anymore, but you taste a lot of black pepper, but it's not overpowering.
Yeah, I can get where you're at.
That's where I'm at, and then I get the hint of like cedar and hay at the back end.
Okay. All right.
What about you?
For me, I'm getting, which is one of my favorite flavors to get on a cigar, is caramel.
Ooh.
Some nuts, roasted nuts. Let's go with roasted nuts. And
that's a lot of nuts.
There's some hints of spice. Some spice. I want to say maybe pepperish. I think the spice is there just to let me know it's a medium cigar. I think it's just like, oh wait, I know we're caramel. I know we're a little soft on there, but it's still a medium cigar on me.
Yeah. Well, see, and mine is a Nicaraguan. Like,
yeah,
the wrapper and binder is Nicaraguan Habano, and then the filler is Nicaraguan Habano and Honduran Habano. And it is, I mean,
that's where your spice is coming from. That's where your pepper's coming from. Yeah,
you won't talk about that. It's so good. Yeah, black pepper. Yeah. So it's good. It's got that earthy, cedary kind of taste with the hay and then the black pepper. Oh, it's so good. It definitely is. It lives up to its name of the Knuckle Buster because it definitely like kind of punches you.
All right.
It's pairing very well with this Scotch because the Scotch is smooth and kind of smooths out some of that pepper, but that peatiness draws out some of that natural earthy cedar and hay.
I can get it.
It's so good. It's so good. Get over here and get you some.
Well, champagne and Hennessy makes it a little sweet, which adds to this caramel, which works out well.
Yeah, Hennessy has got all those floral notes. Yeah,
floral, vanilla. Yeah. I'm not going to go down there. I can talk about Hennessy for hours.
Okay. Well, speaking of Hennessy, I got a question.
Oh.
I got a question.
All right.
Did you ever not drink a form of Hennessy in season 1?
All right. Well, contrary to popular belief, anyone that listens to the show knows it's been Hennessy.
Answer is no. Answer is no already. He did not.
The answer is yes. There has been 2. I went back and checked 2 episodes where I did not drink Hennessy. I had to go back and check. There's 2
out of 24.
2 out of 20. 2 out of is more than 24. I didn't count the sidebars in there for the fact checking, but I have drunk Hennessy for every single sidebar.
So I want people to understand this. We do 2 episodes a month with maybe 2 sidebars a month. Is that fair? Is that accurate? Roughly?
Roughly we try to get 1 sidebar a month. So
okay.
Let's say about at least 3 episodes a month.
So 3 episodes a month. So that means that's 36 episodes in a year. And out of those 36 episodes in a year, this man only drank anything other than Hennessy twice.
Oh, you want to know what they were?
You own stock in Hennessy?
Yeah, I wish I did. Man,
Jesus.
I can't. For my 60th birthday, I want to go to Cognac.
You know what? I'll meet you wherever. Let's go. I will meet you.
That's what I want to do for my 60th. The episodes. There's 2 episodes.
Yeah, please enlighten me.
Episodes 5 and episode 10. Episode 5, I drunk Black Rifle coffee.
The
Black
canned
Rifle
coffee.
Yeah, you remember that?
I do. I do remember that because I had some shortly after that. Not on air, but I had some shortly after that. It was not a pleasant experience.
Oh, really? Won't go there.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it tasted good at the time. And I'll leave it right there.
Okay. Perfect. Oh, I'll hear that off air. 10, I drunk Davidoff coffee.
Okay. All right. I'll give it to you.
Now, I tried to track yours, but you was across the board. You had mojitos one time. You had old fashioned. You had Glenfiddich. Redbreast was definitely your favorite.
Oh, that is by all means
it was your
favorite. 100% my favorite. Tell my wife to buy me more.
I will text her right now.
You do that. You do that.
I have a question for you.
Oh, please.
On your side of the map, have you received any feedback?
So the feedback that I've received is that we're doing pretty good. A lot of the things that I get is that it's things that they want to know about cigars. So usually I get a lot of ideas like, hey, what about if you guys did this for an episode or did that for an episode? I really am interested in this cigar knowledge or that cigar knowledge. And then the other thing has to do with our audio quality. And I want people to understand, we do this like nobody pays us to do this. We have a few ads that have made us a little bit of money, but it's not anything it's nothing to shake a stick at. So we're doing this out of our own time and out of our own money and everything else. That we don't have any corporate sponsors necessarily. But other than that, it's been a lot of positive feedback. What about you? What have you gotten?
Well, when you say audio, it made me cringe a little bit. Reason why? Because I went back and listened to episode 1 and episode 2 because I'm trying to do some fact finding for this episode, right?
Right.
Man, episode 1 is the sound quality. Episode 2, the sound quality is horrible. So anybody that one to listen to episode 22 to even to this episode, the sound quality has vastly improved.
We've gotten better at this. I will say, episode 1 definitely was a trial. It's like the pancake, that first pancake, the griddle wasn't quite hot enough. And you're like, this is a shit pancake anyways. It's like your first kid. You just kind of toss them to the side. That's that first pancake you just chuck to the side. You're like, no one is going to eat this.
So anybody that's followed from episode 1 up until now, thanks for bearing with us. Our sound quality is definitely better than episode 1. For anybody that's new to the podcast, hey, our sound quality is only going to improve over time from what you hear now. So as of right now, this is what we got. But you're correct. Reaching out for, I'll get to that later. My feedback, of course, I checked the sites on Apple.
Please.
Have 5 stars.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I get the feedback saying you guys are doing great. I've actually been told that we have improved others' cigar knowledge.
Oh, that's good.
I've actually picked up a few newbies along the way.
Nice.
That ask questions. I even had someone say, hey, if I have a cigar question, I'll just talk to Dice or I'll listen to that podcast he got because he got all the information right there.
Yeah. Or, message us at Leadership of the Leaf on Instagram or comment on some of our pictures because we'd love to talk to you guys.
Yeah, it definitely will happen. Does happen. Can happen.
Will happen.
And as far as our leadership, I think we mentioned it throughout the episode, the earlier episodes before, where there was one guy that said we should teach a class on this leadership. Some of the things that we say, I hear it echoed. I think we're doing a great job, but of course I'm biased. The feedback that I'm getting hasn't said I haven't heard any naysaying other than audio quality.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't think I've heard anything like you guys have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't heard that. I've heard, man, this stuff is really good. Why don't you talk about this stuff in just general conversation? And my answer to that is always, You know how hard it is to bring up like a mentoring session in the middle of just a normal conversation and not have everybody roll their eyes at you and then just walk away because they don't care to listen. Everyone has to be in the mood to be mentored, and that's why we put out this podcast, because when you're in the mood to be mentored and learn some things, then you can feel free to listen to our podcast and you will learn some things.
I'll say the question that is asked often after someone listens to an episode or two, they're like, what made you guys want to do this? Where'd you get this from?
Oof. I've actually been asked that myself. And I always say, this is a natural progression. Kind of. So me and Dice, for those of you who don't know, we would get off of work on Fridays after a long week of work, and we'd sit down and we just want to relax with each other, just sit there and talk, kind of vent whatever we had that week. And we'd talk about our cigars that we're smoking. Oh, this one's really good. Oh, I don't like this one so much. Blah, 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 blah. And try to share a little bit of cigar knowledge with each other. I think I taught you about retrohaling.
Yes.
And then we would talk about whatever went on that week. So normally, because we're both decent, I would say middle managers, a little bit higher up than upper middle management, so to speak, in our companies, we talk about whatever's going on with our bosses, whatever's going on with our underlings, and we would bounce ideas off each other. Hey, how do I deal with this? Hey, how do I deal with that? Hey, what do you think of this idea? Da da da. So then we sat there and started thinking about it. And we were like, I bet a lot of other people could sit there and think about this and would probably benefit from the stuff that we're talking about. And so we said, let's record it.
Yeah. Same natural progression. When I actually moved away from Florida, we continued our same process over FaceTime, whatever, video chat, whatever we could
Skype,
at the time.
Whatever we could.
And naturally, it just morphed into a podcast. So we're going to continue to do this with or without the podcast. So if we do it with the podcast, it just shares the information across the board with whomever would like that knowledge. Yeah. And that's our biggest thing, because I don't know, in my opinion, one of the biggest travesties of human nature, I say, is the hoarding of knowledge. Yes. Everyone nowadays, they want I'd really like to share my secret with you, but you got to pay $99.95 to get my 10 key leaderships to business, or if you buy my book set, then I'll share with you my 20 keys to business leadership. No, we don't want to do that shit. We just wanted to record it, put it out there. If you guys gain something off of this, if you guys see a new way to conquer a problem, or a new way to deal with that obstinate coworker, or whatever the case is, hey, we're here for you guys. This is what we love to do. Yes. We're not getting paid buku bucks to do this stuff. We are literally getting paid cents to do this stuff, and we have nothing but love for all of our listeners, and we'd love to see you guys and hear you guys succeed and say, hey, man, that leadership topic, that really helped me on this, that, and the other thing, and we're happy that you guys are succeeding off of it. Yeah. I remember when we used to smoke, when we was actually together, and we used to smoke, every now and again, someone would join us. Yeah. Who would accompany us, and they were like, man, I should have been doing this a long time ago.
Yeah, everybody would do the same thing. They would come in for whatever, we'd sit and play cards or
domino, motherfucker.
Or dominoes, yeah. And we'd sit there and talk about this stuff, and these people would be like, man, you guys got all of this information and all this knowledge. I should have been joining you guys from the get-go. And we're like, our invitation is always open. This is just a way of, our invitation is literally always open. So we recorded it. Here you go. Come join us.
Boom. And that's how it is. So that's pretty much our feedback. You asked earlier about the apps. I actually got the percentages of what apps that I actually can get a hold of to how people are listening.
Okay.
So 69% of the people are using Apple.
Okay.
10% is using a web browser, which is probably Anchor FM.
Yeah.
About 6% is on Spotify. And 3% is using Amazon. And if you group all the other ones together, it's about 13% on all kinds of others. Okay.
That's a lot more Apple than I expected.
Yeah, actually, iPhone is leading the way with 73%. Mac is like 10%, so that covers Apple. Apple is about 83% total. Android is about 6%, with all other whatever devices is going to be about 11%. So actually, I'm not too surprised that Apple is so high. Not Apple, iPhone is so high.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's definitely fair. Yeah, I think yeah, I don't know. I'm impressed that Apple's so high.
What I was impressed with, sir, because again, nerdy dice over here, I guess you will call me, is the countries that listen.
Oh yeah,
countries.
All right, so yeah, I think Apple being so high up, I'm not super surprised, but a little bit surprised that it's that high. I expected it to be like 50%, a web browser to be like 10, Spotify to be around 10, and then like Amazon to be probably around 10, and then like an Android to be around whatever the rest of the percentage is. I think that's 20%.
I actually thought Spotify was going to be a little higher, to be honest with you.
I kind of did too, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So countries. You said, wait, we want to do.
You want to do? You know what? I'm almost in my second third. Let's take a quick little break, and then I'll come back when we both come back, not just me, both of us.
Are you sure? Are you gonna kick me off? You're gonna kick me off, you son of a bitch. That happens to every great brand. That somebody gets a big head. Here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dice. You son of a bitch.
When we come back, we'll talk about some of the countries that listen to us.
Yes.
Be surprised.
I am.
And then we'll also discuss what's coming up this season. What some of the things people can look forward to in the upcoming season.
Yes, please.
More than just a new intro.
I'm so excited to learn about what else I'm going to be doing this year.
Sounds good. We'll be back. All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to Leadership of the Leaf. I'm just letting you know, if you want to see what kind of cigars that myself, Dice,
and Austin,
what we're smoking on each episode, check out our Instagram on Leadership of the Leaf. All one word.
At Leadership of the Leaf. And please, leave us a comment. Send us a message with what other questions or what you guys are smoking on. Maybe you guys have some suggestions for us that we'd love to give it a shot.
At Leadership of the Leaf on Instagram.
This is retired machinist mate first class George Kreischer, or better known as Crash. And you are listening to the Leadership of the Leaf, hosted by Dice and Austin.
Welcome back after that break. We just put a little bumper in there. I'm gonna add those in there as I get them from people that listen to the show. And if you like to add a bumper, hit us up on Instagram, DM or message, email, whatever. We'll add it. It's okay.
Yeah.
So right before the break, we was going to talk about our second third.
Yeah, second third.
And my second third is still got the roasted nuts, turned earthy, and that pepper turned to a licorice. Some kind of licorice like spice. I want to say licorice. What's the spice that licorice makes? Or they make the licorice, whatever. Licorice. I don't know how to say the spice. What is that? Anise?
Oh, don't ask me. I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right? So the listeners know what I'm talking about.
Listen, all I know is that my wife mispronounced a word this evening, and I have not stopped making fun of her for it yet.
Oh, you have to share the word.
Okay.
Wait, is it a bad word?
No.
Oh. Is it a funny word?
All right, I'm going to mispronounce it the way she pronounced it. And I want you to guess what word I'm trying to pronounce. Archipelago.
Archipelago.
Yep. That's what she said. Archipelago.
Archipelago. No, I can't put it together.
You heard archipelago?
Archipelago?
Yeah.
Now you got me saying it wrong. Did I say it right?
It's archipelago.
I've never heard of it.
What? Like archipelago of islands?
Educating me, sir.
Archipelago. Jesus. Why do I have to? Oh my God.
I have no. Where are these islands located?
Yeah, you could call the Philippines an archipelago.
Okay.
You could, an archipelago.
I never heard of it.
Jesus, you uneducated fuck.
Yes. I was raised in South Carolina, sir. When we talk about the Philippines, we say Philippines. We don't say the Archipelago Islands.
All right. So an archipelago, I'm going to give you the actual definition, is literally a group of islands.
Oh, so any group of islands?
Yes.
Yeah, nope. First time I heard that word, sir.
Oh my God. You ever heard of Malaysia?
I have heard of Malaysia.
Okay, they're part of the Malay archipelago.
Oh. Well, thank you for educating myself.
I'm here for you.
Maybe a few listeners too. Hey, I can't be the only one.
I hate you so much.
You hate me so much that you're going to tell me what your second third is.
My second third. So I had a kind of a natural sweetness of tobacco that's kind of mellowed out. I still get that black pepper, but I get the earthy and the hay kind of. It's the cedar's mellowed out to like an earth. I would say almost truffle like, but that hay is still there, and then that black pepper is almost increased.
Okay,
it's good. It's very good.
Still pleasurable, yeah. Good.
Very much so. I'm still smoking it, so yes. All right. So we were talking about before we went on break, the countries that our listeners are from, and I am super excited about this because you're in Vegas, I'm in Florida, but you said countries, so that means there's people outside of the United States that are listening to this.
Correct. So we already got United States taken care of. We both agree. Okay.
Yep.
The next country, Germany.
Deutschland.
Yes.
Ooh, I've been there. I like that country. I love that country, actually.
All right. Here's where it's going to be. Okay, it's not a country. I got it. I'm educated enough to know Puerto Rico is part of the United States.
Puerto Rico, it's a
Puerto
territory.
Rico came up. Yes. So Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Canada.
Ooh, our neighbors to the north.
Yeah. Russia, which I thought was interesting. Yep.
That is interesting.
Romania.
Very interesting.
Who knew, right? We also have Mexico.
Ooh, Mexico. All right.
Brazil.
Brazil. Okay.
And the last country that shows up on our list is UK. United Kingdom.
I love the UK. All right. I'm down with all these places. Those who I have not visited, I want to visit soon. And those I have visited, I hope to be back soon.
Yeah. And I'm curious because I did go to Canada. So I wonder if I spread my wealth of knowledge in Canada to where people like listen, because I went to a cigar lounge there. So I'm curious if they picked up. I have visited UK. I don't know if they picked up, but it's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
So I like to see that increase.
Yeah, worldwide. Why not?
International, baby.
Hey, let's go. All right, so I think we've got best episode, longest episode, the best topics, feedback from our listeners, where they're listening, what countries they're listening from, and then my personal favorite is how many episodes did Dice not drink Hennessy on? Out of 36, only 2. 2 people. Do you understand how much Hennessy this man drinks? Anywho, what do you got to say?
There was a friend of mine that we was going back and forth for how much we spend on alcohol a month.
I don't even want to talk about it.
And the guy, he drinks wine. He drank like a bottle or 2 of wine. I think he said a night. And I was like, that's crazy. But the bottles he drank wasn't that expensive. But he beat me just by a small margin because of how often he drank a whole bottle of wine. But my Hennessy, well, you've seen my Hennessy.
Yeah, your Hennessy collection very, very much so goes deep. You know what's really sad about this? So let me share with you. I was prepping for this episode, and I talked to the wife, and I said, "Babe, I got to drink something with this episode. What do I drink with this episode? What do you recommend? What do we have?" And she just looked at me and she goes, "We ain't got shit."
Oh.
I said, "I'm sorry. The fuck did you just say to me?" And she goes, "We ain't got shit." And I was like, "All right." So I was prepping for this episode. So I actually had Instacart come out and deliver me some alcohol and deliver me this scotch because I was like, I don't want to leave my house to go get this stuff. So I'd rather have it delivered to me.
Nice.
So, yeah. All right. But what I really want to know, what are we doing in season 2? What's going to happen in season 2? Because, you know, the same old shit gets boring, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, we got to share more cigar knowledge. That's going to happen.
Right, of course.
We're going to share more leadership advice. That's going to happen. That's what we do.
Those are standard.
Let's line up a few guests, some interviews. There's a few people I've already reached out to. They said, hell yes. We just got to work on the timing for all of this, but it will be happening. It will be coming.
I'm down.
We would probably, I would like to start reviewing lounges.
Okay.
Because I know there's a chance that you will visit Burn. There's a chance, there's quite a plethora of lounges here in Vegas, of course.
Of course.
I guarantee you're going to see lounges throughout your journey. You've already seen quite a few. But
yes.
we didn't share any information about them. So I would like to share, like give it a little review. Like I like it, I didn't like it, what you liked about it, whatever.
Yeah, very much so.
One thing I am kind of excited about is I want to work. I would like for us to work on some kind of giveaway, something to give back to our listeners, to someone that is listening. Like something, shirt, I don't know, lighter, something. Work on something. I'm working on all of this. All this will happen in season 2.
Okay. I'm down. I'm excited.
Sidebars. We're gonna try to do more sidebars together. Because sidebars, what we've started introducing near the end of season 1 is news. To try to keep up to date on current events that is happening in the news for cigars, of course.
Yeah, right.
There's been a lot of talk from the FDA about flavored cigars and all kinds of crazy things that happen with the legislation about cigars from different state to state. So I want to try to keep up with that.
Okay.
I do believe we discussed off air before about YouTube.
Yes.
We're definitely going to throw more episodes on YouTube, building up that YouTube account, of course, before cigars are banned from YouTube. But until then, I'm going to upload. I'm going to try to get, I'm working on getting all of season 1 uploaded to YouTube. It's a process.
Right. That is one of the feedbacks that I've gotten. It's one of the main questions is when I tell them I do a podcast, they say, "Oh, where are you guys located?" And I'm like, "Oh, we're located on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all these other places." And they ask me, "Are you guys on YouTube?" And I'm like, no, but kind of. We're getting there. And they're like, "You should do YouTube because that's super easy to do YouTube." And I'm like, okay.
One thing I was asked is if we're going to do a video, like, are we going to have a video podcast or have streaming of actually us two interacting?
Oof.
And
people want to see our ugly mugs.
What I say about that is I prefer to leave my face off the screen. I prefer to be more on the leadership, more on the cigars, not necessarily us two.
I would agree.
I'm definitely going to see if we both can visit Instagram more often. Our posts have been sporadic on Instagram. Not that it's a big deal, but a lot of people are because we actually smoke.
Okay.
So we're going to up that game. But I mean, it's just whatever we can think of to entice and interest of the listeners more. I want to bring that to the forefront.
Yeah.
Because season 1 was really a test phase. We actually are getting positive feedback. We actually are getting listeners. There's people listening. So we're going to continue. This is, I call it a success.
Yeah, I would agree. And I just want to grow that. So if you guys got any ideas for us, hey, you guys should do X, Y, and Z, hit us up at Leadership of the Leaf on Instagram. Send us an email. We love to respond to you guys. Take your suggestions and or criticism, and we take it to the heart. I mean, you guys what makes us successful or not successful. And so if you guys got any ideas, please hit us up, let us know, and we would love to hear from y'all. Yeah.
On Instagram, I changed our link in the bio. It's now a link tree. So when you click on the link, it's going to have more links in there to get to our contact us page, to our blog site, to different facets to listen to the actual podcast. So that has already been upgraded.
Okay, awesome. Hell yeah. Already getting better.
All we can do is improve.
Yeah. If you start at the bottom, all you can go is up, right?
True story, my friend. True story. I pretty much went over like a list. Is there anything you'd like to add to it? We can always. Didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No. You're good. I'm thinking, but I think you covered everything. I mean, I like the idea of giveaways. I like the idea of getting more swag. Maybe setting up a store of some sort if we can. That may be well in the future, but something that we can get you guys to show your Leadership of the Leaf support, so you can be proud listeners and maybe share with your friends and say, hey, this is who I listen to learn about X, Y, and Z. Give them a listen. I bet you'll like it too.
One thing I think we should try to do is, maybe not this episode, maybe one of the episodes in the future, announce what we will be smoking. So the listeners, if they care to, they can pick up the same cigar we will be smoking and smoke that same cigar and see if they get what we get.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I like that idea.
So with all that talking and that break we had earlier, I'm pretty much in my final third.
Yeah, I'm just about there. Why don't you go ahead and I'll join at the end.
Okay. One thing I did mention about this cigar, I don't know if the listeners caught it or not. I said the finish on it is short. And when I said the finish on it is short, that means the flavor and everything that I'm getting from the cigar, the nicotine and the harshness, if you may, it's not lingering on my palate. It's not staying there. So,
yeah, you have little palate trauma.
So for a beginner, this cigar is
Right.
probably right up that alley. It's a phenomenal cigar to start with. I mean, it's Perdomo. Champagne.
Perdomo's,
Yeah.
yeah.
I picked Perdomo Champagne for this episode on purpose. So my caramel has came back, which I greatly appreciate. And I roasted nuts in the back, but the caramel is there. There's very light pepper on the when I exhale or blow out my smoke. And this is a very enjoyable, relaxing cigar.
Very nice. Definitely, I do enjoy the Perdomos, especially champagne. So, yeah, I would agree with you on those. All those notes.
All right. Now, before you say yours,
Okay.
all right. After we say I final third, we're going to try to make a habit of saying if we will purchase a single stick or a 5-pack or a...
Okay. So, on that champagne, what would you do? Box worthy?
I would definitely buy a box. Now, when we're discussing this, price and all that doesn't matter. It's like, how often do I want to smoke this cigar?
Right.
Okay. So right now, this cigar, this champagne Perdomo 10th anniversary is definitely box worthy.
Interesting. All right. Let me go on my final third, and I will say that black pepper and the natural tobacco flavor has remained pretty much at the front of everything. The black pepper is getting a little bit more peppery and harsh. It's not bad, but it's good. There's a little bit of sweetness back in there. The haze kind of gone, but I get that black pepper and that natural tobacco, which natural tobacco has kind of a sweetness. And that's kind of remained in the background. Box worthy, no. 5-pack worthy, yes.
All right. I can see that 5-pack. It's a punch. So I don't know. I haven't had a punch where I'm like, yeah, this is box worthy.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I like this cigar. I just feel like I kind of have to be in the mood to kind of get black pepper. I have to be in a spicy kind of mood.
Yeah, I understand that.
All right. So that's season 2 upcoming. What we're gonna do, a recap of season 1. As always, I know we didn't go over a whole lot of leadership. We didn't go over really any leadership, but we just want to kind of give you guys a brief preview, so to speak, of what we're going to be talking about in this upcoming season, and talk about our cigar of the year and everything else, which is in Compromiso. If you haven't had it, please go get it. It's chocolatey deliciousness and goodness all wrapped it together. So good. It's got a little bit of that black pepper chocolate goodness going on. Give it a shot. If you haven't tried it, please go try it and let us know what you think. Try all of the ones that we have. I think if you were to look at what we smoked on air together, I'll just give you guys a rundown of what everything was in the running. We had the Southern Draw Jacob's Ladder, the Acid, which was good. Acid 20 Connecticut, the Undercrown 10, which I would say came in like a really close second place.
Yeah, if I remember, we debated between Sin Compromiso and Underground 10. Yeah,
we did. Fat Bottom Betty, which is a sweet cap, which is good morning coffee type cigar.
Yes.
The Rojas Street Taco, which was so good because you get that meaty flavor, guacamole, sour cream, all kind of mixed together. It's so good. The the Alec Bradley Magic Toast, which is like a cinnamon toast type.
That was a surpriser.
Yeah, it was really good. The CAO Bones, which again was really good. The EP Carrillo Pledge, another really good one. That one won Cigar of the Year, 2021, 2020.
Yeah, that's a full body. So
That's very full body. Be ready to be knocked on your ass.
Bring some chocolate.
Yeah. Diesel Crucible 2021 limited edition, which we added in there because we hadn't added the new rule. The CAO Flathead V450 spark plug, which, if I remember right, it was peppery and very kind of like, oh, that's good. It kind of gave you a jolt.
Yeah, it had a little citrus to me.
Yeah, it's a citrusy pepper kind of thing. It was really good. The Sin Compromiso obviously won. Then we had the Aganorsa Leaf Guardian of the Farm Cerberus, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I think I got a Lancero in the humidor that I want to smoke. And then the CAO BX3, which was so good, so delicious.
I believe that was our number 3.
Yeah, I would say that's, right in there. So those were the ones that we smoked on air together. We're going to do a little bit better job of trying to come together and smoke a little bit more of the same cigars coming up in the next season. And stay tuned. More cigar knowledge, more leadership knowledge as always. That's what we do here. So please stick with us, as this thing will only get better.
That's a true story.
Until next time, I've been Austin.
And I'm Dice.
And we will catch you guys on the next one.
All right.
Thank you for listening to Leadership of the Leaf. The comments and opinions expressed by the host and guests does not reflect the opinions of those that broadcast this show, nor does it reflect any of our affiliates.
Don't forget, we need to follow the podcast so we know when new episodes drop.